I do, Buckaroos. Hey, I have this every year right around Thanksgiving, and it's Thanksgiving weekend. As I'm doing this video, I thought I'd put the festive Christmas backdrop behind me. No, this isn't my living room. Because never fails, someone always asks, "Is that your house?" No, it's not my house. It's just a backdrop. Anyways, Sierra Nevada celebration, 6.8%. Let me read just a little bit from their website here. Festive Fresh Hop Holiday Fun. The start of celebration season is a festive event. We can't start brewing until the first fresh hops have arrived. But once they have the season, damn, one more time. But once they have the season is officially underway. First brewed 1981. Could you imagine that? That blows me away every time I read this every year that they've been brewing this beer since 1981. Can you imagine what that did to palates back in 1981? Anyways, a Celebration Ale is one of the earliest examples of an American style IPA and one of the few hop forward holiday beers. Yeah, some people are under the misconception that it's a spiced IPA. It is not, it never has been. Famous for its intense citrus and pine aromas, Celebration is bold and intense, featuring Cascade, Centennial, and Chinook hops, honoring everything we have at Sierra Nevada. 6.8%, 65 IBUs, ale yeast, Chinook and Centennial for bittering, Cascade and Centennial for finishing. The malts are two-row pale and caramel. So, I mean, it is a relatively simple beer if you look at those ingredients, but which kind of makes you wonder, I mean, you look at the way craft beer is done today. I mean, everything seems to have 100 ingredients in it. Simple is better, y'all. I wish craft brewers would get back to that. Just making good beer again and quit making these 100 ingredient kitchen sink beers. Just go back to making classics. Just make good beer, right? Just make quality beer. Because that's why y'all started in the first place. Look how beautiful that is. Just a gorgeous head that just kind of sits up on top there. You can't really see that, but it's really nice, man. The color is gorgeous. And looking at that color with that slight ruby hue, I mean, this is what IPAs looked like back then, man. Up until about the last few years, anyway. Then you had the West Coast IPAs that made them golden. Uh, the West Coast. I call them tropical fruit salad IPAs. And then you get the New England salad, New England IPAs that look like fruit juice. I call them brunch IPAs. Irritates some folks when I call them brunch IPAs. Well, it tastes like grapefruit juice or orange juice, so they're brunch IPAs, as far as I'm concerned. But this is what a classic IPA looks like, folks. I mean, they're typically malt forward. You get a lot of malt. There's a lot of hops going on. But it was meant to be balanced. It wasn't meant to be overly bitter. And that's my trouble with a lot of, so you gotta get myself a milk mustache. That's the trouble with a lot of IPAs these days, though. I mean, it's like having too much seasoning on a steak. It's all seasoning and no meat. So the aromas here are very nice. I like they describe. You're certainly gonna feel some pine. You're gonna feel some citrus as well. Feeling some grapefruit, some orange specifically. Oh, baby, that's what Daddy like. Oh, that's gorgeous. There's a reason why I buy this beer every year. Actually, I was going to buy a six pack of it, but then I found the mix pack, so I only have three to work with as opposed to six. But I wanted to try the whole fresh hop mix pack. How about that? Oh, this is gorgeous. It really is. It's beautiful. And the problem is you've got folks today that aren't going to understand a beer like this because they're used to these IPAs that are so light and bodied. They can't understand what a classic IPA is. This is it. This is a classic IPA, man. Nice and malty, but plenty hoppy as well. A little bitter, but not overly so. And that's the way an IPA should be, man. I mean, you've got some beers today that are just incredibly unbalanced. And I'm convinced that some people only say they like them just because it's trendy to say so. I am damn convinced of that. I'll tell you that right now. Sierra Nevada is great for making classics. They kind of get overlooked with all of the craft beer trends, especially as new craft breweries pop up all the time. People shouldn't forget that they were one of the first, man. I mean, they were there at the beginning. They were making great beer from the start, and they're still making some damn fine beer. So there you go. How about that? This thing is beautiful, though. Oh, man. Actually, yeah, I mean, you feel a lot of that malt in there. Um, some nice malt notes, but then I got this great big hit of orange right there. I went, wow, that's pretty good, man. A little orange mix with that. That's nice, man. Anyways, yeah, every year at Thanksgiving, I've been doing this one for probably close to a decade now. I can't remember the exact year. I've got pictures on social media going back 6 years, but I really wasn't posting much pictures before that. I didn't get on Facebook till right at the end of 2009. Anyway, it took me a little over a year to figure this shit out. My son was still helping me how to put stuff on there. I think it was in 2011 he taught me how to cut and paste. I had no idea, man. He's my IT guy, man. I shit you not. It's the truth. But it is a beautiful beer to look at. It really is. I love this color. I kind of miss IPAs looking like this, to be honest with you, because there was a time when this was kind of the color of an IPA. And if you look at color charts, beer charts, when they show color beer charts, well, this is about the color they show for an IPA. They didn't look like a glass of orange juice. They didn't look like an orange Julius, because that's what they look like right now. Anyway, a classic from Sierra Nevada. It's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you all enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend holiday. Getting as we approach Christmas, I put the Christmas tree in the background here. Gets all nice and festive. Anyways, I digress. Mm. So there you go. Yeah, I'm not going to finish this entire beer here because it's a lot of beer and I've talked long enough. I think y'all got the idea. It's a great beer, though. If you can find it, you got to pick it up. If you're a younger beer drinker and you haven't had it, you really need to try it. I mean, especially if you think you only like a specific kind of IPA, or especially if you call yourself a beer reviewer, you need to understand classics. If you can't understand a classic, you have no business calling yourself a beer reviewer. I am Tom the Beerist for BeerVangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy.